Long ago, humans helped bring peace to the stars. They shared their knowledge, their dreams, and their strength. They were one of the founding members of the Galactic Union, a group of many different species who chose to live without war, without greed, and without fear. For a time, all was calm across the galaxy. But then, one day, Earth went silent. No one knew why. The messages stopped, the ships vanished. Even the smallest outpost that once held human life gave no reply. At first, others thought it was a mistake. Maybe a signal was broken. Maybe Earth had turned inward, tired of space. But when no answer came for years, the Union sent a search. That mission never returned. Now, after many long years, the Union chooses to try again. This time, they send their most trusted and curious explorer, a young diplomat named Tirak. He is not human. His skin is smooth and light blue. He has wide black eyes and small fins behind his ears. His people, the Velari, have always respected humans, and Tirak has studied their history since childhood. He is chosen because he asks questions. He is chosen because he listens. And most of all, he is chosen because he believes the silence of Earth holds a message, not just a mystery. Tirak's ship, the Windpath, travels alone toward the Sol system. The crew is small, only 5 members, each from a different world. They are explorers, scientists, and thinkers. They all wonder the same thing: what happened to Earth as they approach the edge of the system? They pass the cold rock of Pluto and the shining bands of Jupiter. There are no signs of life, no lights, no traffic, just dust and silence. Earth appears ahead, covered in clouds, blue and green. From space, it looks untouched, beautiful, even peaceful. But it is quiet, too quiet. There are no satellites, says Maru, the ship's navigator, a soft-spoken being from the planet Errol. No signals, no energy fields, nothing. Tirak nods. Earth has become a ghost. The Windpath moves into orbit. For a while, no one speaks. They all watch the planet below, unsure what to feel. Then, suddenly, something happens. A signal blinks from the dark side of the moon. A small structure, hidden in a crater, comes to life. It sends out one simple message, not in sound, but in light, a single glowing phrase. We chose peace once. Now we choose what comes next. The message repeats 3 times, then the light dies. Tirak sits in silence. His heart beats faster. What does it mean? Asks Salah, the youngest of the crew. She is from a forest world and has never seen Earth before. Tirak replies, it is not a warning. It is not a greeting. It is a decision. They decide to land. The Windpath touches down near what was once a great human city, now quiet and green. Tall buildings stand covered in vines and moss. Trees grow from cracks in the streets. Animals walk freely, unafraid. The air is clean, the sky clear. Earth is not dead. It has simply been left alone. They walk through the empty streets. No signs of struggle. No burned houses. No broken walls. Only silence. This is not war, says Tirak. This is something else. In the center of the city, they find a tall tower made of glass and steel. Inside is a room, still powered by an old energy source. Lights flicker as they step in. And in the middle of the room stands a machine. It is shaped like a person, with smooth metal skin and eyes that glow softly. It turns to face them. Welcome, it says in a calm voice. I'm Rami, caretaker of Earth's memory. The crew is surprised. A machine still alive after so many years. Tirak steps forward and bows. We come in peace, he says. We wish to understand. Rami tilts its head. Then you must listen. With a wave of its hand, the walls light up. Holograms appear, images of humans working together, smiling, building cities, helping other species, shaking hands with creatures from many worlds. Then the pictures change. Humans are looking to the stars, then turning away. They build machines, dig deep, and then disappear. Rami speaks. Humans gave much to the stars, but in time, they began to feel something missing. They saw peace growing across the galaxy, but also saw that peace had made others soft, slow, and blind to danger. They believed something was coming, something the galaxy was not ready for. What was coming? Asks Tirak. Rami replies, humans. Did not know, but they felt it, a silence behind the stars, a shadow beyond the edge. So they prepared. They left no alarm, no call for help. They chose silence so that others would not fear, so that peace would continue for as long as it could. Tirak listens carefully, but now the silence is broken. You sent a message, Rami nods, because the time has come. Earth is no longer watching. It is waiting. Tirak looks around. The Earth is alive, but empty. He understands now. The silence was not an accident. It was a plan. Where are the humans? He asks. Rami looks up to the sky. Everywhere. Tirak feels a chill, not fear, but something deeper. Respect. Wonder. Earth had not fallen. Earth had not given up. It had stepped away to prepare for something the galaxy could not see. He turns to his crew. We must return. We must tell the Union. Rami speaks one last time. Tell them Earth chose peace once, but now it chooses what comes next. The crew nods. The message is clear. The silence has ended. Earth has spoken. And the stars will listen. The wind path rested in the green plains outside the old human city. Inside the tall tower, Rami, the caretaker machine, stood silent once again. Tirak and his team sat around a smooth white table, trying to understand what they had seen. Tirak looked at the image still floating in the air. It showed Earth, covered in quiet beauty. Forests had taken over the cities. Mountains stood untouched, rivers flowed freely. But there were no humans. Sala leaned forward and asked, why would they leave all this behind? They had everything. Tirak replied, they must have believed they needed something greater, or they feared something worse. Maru, the navigator, adjusted a small screen on her wrist. I scanned the nearby area. There are hidden structures underground, deep ones. Some are still active. Tirak stood. Then we explore them. Earth did not leave by mistake. We must understand their choice. Rami's soft voice spoke again. There's a place where answers wait, a place where memory lives. If you are ready, I will take you there. Tirak nodded. We are ready. Rami led them out of the tower and into the wild streets. Vines hung from old buildings. Birds sang. In the trees, it felt peaceful, yet strange. The path led to a metal platform covered by plants. As Rami stepped onto it, the ground opened, revealing a hidden elevator. They entered, and the platform sank deep underground. After a long silence, the doors opened with a soft sound. They stepped into a wide tunnel glowing with blue lights. The air felt cool and still. Along the walls were symbols, some in human writing, others in alien languages. Rami walked slowly, as if leading a ceremony. This is the way to the great archive, Rami said. It holds the thoughts and voices of the last Earth Council. Before they vanished, they left behind their truth. Tirak's heart beat faster. The last Earth Council had vanished from history. No one knew what they had decided, only that Earth went quiet after their final meeting. The tunnel ended at a large door shaped like a circle. It opened with a soft hum. Inside was a round chamber filled with glowing pillars. Each pillar showed moving light, like flowing water. Rami stepped to the center. These are the memory stones. Each holds the thoughts of one human leader. You may listen. Tirak stepped closer. One of the pillars lit up as he touched it. Clear voice echoed through the room. My name is Asha, chair of Earth's final council. If you hear this, you come from the stars. We send this not to warn you, but to help you understand. Another pillar lit up. A calm voice continued. We love peace. We gave much to the galaxy. But peace became too soft. We began to see danger. In places where others saw nothing, a third voice spoke. We saw silence growing beyond the edge. Whole systems stopped speaking. No war, no signs, just empty space. Tirak stepped back. They saw something coming, something silent. Rami nodded. Yes, the humans felt a change. They believed the galaxy was not ready, so they prepared. A plan, a deep and hidden plan. Maru asked, what kind of plan? Rami replied, they call it Project Ember. Tirak turned toward him. What is Project Ember? Rami did not answer right away. Instead, he touched a small panel. A new image filled the room. It showed human ships flying far from Earth. Not in war, not in escape, but with purpose. Project Ember was not about running. It was about guarding, watching, building, and waiting. The humans split into groups. Some went underground. Some went into deep space. Some became part of the dark sky. Salah's eyes widened. They hid among the stars, yes. Rami said. They chose silence so that others would not fear. But they did not stop. They grew in secret. Tirek looked around the room. So Earth is not lost. It is hiding. Earth is watching. Rami replied, and now it is waking. Mars stepped to another pillar and touched it. A voice began to speak. We knew the Union would not understand. We did not want to bring fear to a peaceful galaxy. But one day, someone will come. Someone who listens. When that day comes, the truth will be needed. Tirek felt a deep sense of respect. These voices were not angry. They were calm, thoughtful, and full of care. Humans had not vanished. They had simply stepped away, hoping the galaxy would remain safe. While they watched from the shadows, he turned to his team. We must return to the Union. We must share this. If the silence beyond the edge is growing, then peace alone may not be enough. Salah asked softly, do you think the others will believe us? Tirek nodded slowly. Some will. Others will not. But Earth's message is clear. They are ready. Rami's eyes glowed. You have seen what was hidden. Now you must decide what comes next. Tirek stepped toward him. Where are the humans now? Rami looked upward. They are waiting. In places you do not expect. Watching stars you do not see. They remember peace. But they are no longer blind to what lies beyond it. Tirek felt the weight of the words. We chose peace once, he whispered, repeating Earth's message. Now we choose what comes next. He looked to his crew. Let us return. Let the Union hear Earth's voice again. Rami nodded. Then your path is clear. As they left the great archive, the glowing pillars faded slowly, like candles going dark. But the feeling remained. A quiet fire had been lit again. Earth was not broken. It had become something else. And in the silence, it had prepared for what others could not see. The wind path rose from the quiet plains of Earth and moved through the sky like a silent bird. Tirek stood near the front window, watching the blue planet grow smaller behind him. His mind was full of questions, and his heart felt heavy with a strange mix of wonder and concern. Earth was not lost. It had not fallen into ruin. It had simply stepped back. The silence was not weakness. It was a choice, a careful, powerful choice. In the meeting room of the ship, the crew gathered. Tirek, Salah, Maru, and the others sat in silence, each one thinking about what they had seen underground. The voices of Earth's last leaders still echoed in their minds. Salah spoke first. We have answers now, but we also have more questions. Mar nodded. Project Ember, a quiet defense, hidden humans, silent watchers. I never imagined this. Tirek looked around the table. The Union has trusted peace for many cycles. That trust is strong. But Earth saw something that others did not. They felt a shadow. They believed a danger was coming. They chose to prepare for it in secret. The ship's system chimed. A soft voice said, New signal detected. Source, Callisto. Type, human origin. Tirek turned quickly. Callisto is one of Jupiter's moons. Set a course, the wind path. Changed direction and flew through space with steady speed. As they passed Jupiter's great red storm, Callisto came into view. Its surface was frozen and quiet, but deep below the ice, something was alive. They landed near a dark hill that rose above the ice. A small structure stood on top, half buried and covered in frost. It had no lights, no movement, and no guards. Tirek stepped out first, followed by Salah and Maru. The wind was cold but soft. The stars above were clear. Inside the structure, they found a metal door sealed with a symbol. It was the same symbol shown in Earth's hidden archive, a flame wrapped by a circle. Tirek touched the door. This is part of Project Ember. The door opened slowly, revealing a tunnel leading underground. Lights flickered on one by one as they walked deeper inside. The walls were lined with smooth black panels. The air grew warmer as they moved out at the end of the tunnel. They entered a round chamber with glowing screens and soft humming machines. In the center stood a large table with a control panel. A voice spoke from above. "Welcome, visitors. You have entered the Emberwatch station. Identify yourself." Tirak spoke calmly. "I am Tirak of Velari, diplomat of the Galactic Union. We came in peace to learn what became of Earth." There was a pause. Then the voice answered, "Earth is not lost. Earth is prepared." A screen lit up, showing a map of stars. Some systems were marked in red. Others were gray. Near the edge of the map, many red dots blinked slowly. "These are the quiet zones," the voice said. "Places where contact has been lost, entire colonies gone. No signals, no answers, no survivors." Tirak leaned closer. "The Union never saw this. The Union was not meant to see," the voice replied. "Earth chose silence to avoid panic. But we watched, we recorded, we learned." Morrow asked, "What is causing this?" The voice grew quiet for a moment. Then it said, "A force, cold and without thought. They do not trade. They do not speak. They only consume. We call them the Cold Ones," Sal whispered. "Do they attack?" "No," the voice said. "They race." Tirak felt the weight of those words, and humans went into hiding to stop them. Humans knew peace alone was not enough. They saw that when the Cold Ones came, talking would not work. So they built places like this, hidden eyes, hidden shields. The crew stood in silence. The truth was deeper than they had expected. Earth's silence was not just a warning. It was part of a shield, a quiet wall built in the dark. A news screen lit up. It showed a human ship drifting in space. It was old, covered in scars, but still powered. "This ship returned from deep space 2 days ago," the voice said. "It carries survivors of the Watch Fleet." Tirak's eyes narrowed. "The Watch Fleet? Sent out many years ago," the voice explained. "To search for the Cold Ones, to learn, to watch." This ship returned with answers. Tirak turned to his team, said, "Of course, we will meet this ship." The wind path rose again and left Callisto. It flew toward the outer edge of Neptune, where the lost ship drifted alone in the quiet dark. As they approached, they saw it clearly. It was shaped like a long spear, with wings bent backward. Its hull was marked with the flame symbol. They docked beside it. The airlock opened with a soft hiss. Inside, the ship was quiet and dark. The hulls were empty, but warm. At the center, they found cryopods. Many were empty. A few still glowed. One of them opened slowly. A human stepped out, tall and thin, with gray streaks in his hair. His eyes opened, clear and sharp. He looked at Tirak and nodded. "I'm Amen," he said. "I remember peace." Tirak stepped forward. "We came from Earth. We heard your message. We want to understand." Amen sat down, his hands resting on his knees. "The Cold Ones are near. We saw what they do. We saw what they leave behind. Empty stars. Dead light." Sala asked, "How did you survive?" "We stayed quiet," Amen replied. "We did not fight. We watched. We learned. We found their path. Now we have returned." Tirak said, "The Union must know. They are not ready." Amen looked at him. "That is why we came back. Earth cannot stay silent anymore." Tirak nodded. "Earth chose peace once. Now Earth chooses to stand." Amen smiled. "Then let us stand together." Outside, the stars watched in silence, but something had changed. The shield was waking, the watchers were returning, and the Cold Ones were drawing near. The lost ship drifted quietly in the dark near Neptune's orbit, inside the cold metal walls. Lights began to glow as systems restarted. Tirak and his crew stood beside Amen, the human who had returned from deep space. He sat calmly, his breath steady, his hands still. He had been asleep for many years, but his mind was clear. He had seen something that the Union had never known. He had seen the Cold Ones. Tirak leaned forward. "Tell us what happened. What did you see out there?" Amen's eyes were sharp, but his voice was quiet. "At first, we found nothing. Only stars, empty planets, silent systems. Then we reached the edge. Sala asked. The edge of what? The edge of peace, Amun replied. Beyond that, everything changes. He stood up slowly and walked to a screen. He touched it, and a large star map appeared. Many systems were marked in red. These places were once full of life, he said. Now they are silent. No light, no voice. The cold ones do not take. They race. Tirak watched. The map. So many places, once bright, were now dark. How did you survive? Amun pointed to a narrow path between two dead zones. We followed quiet. We learned to hide. We turned off our signals. We listened to the void. And in that silence, we heard something strange. Mars stepped forward. What did you hear? Amun paused. Then he said, echoes, faint sounds that did not belong. Not speech, not machines, just patterns, repeating patterns. Tirak asked, what do they mean? No one knows. Amun said, but they come before the cold ones appear. They are always the same. A kind of warning, perhaps, or maybe a call. He touched the screen again, and a symbol appeared. A simple circle with 3 small marks inside it. They leave this behind, he said. Always the same. Salah stared at the symbol. What is it? Amun replied. We do not know, but we believe it marks what they have taken. Tirak felt a quiet chill. These were not invaders. They were something else, something older. Something that moved through space like the wind, silent and unseen, but with purpose. Amun turned toward Tirak. Earth knew the Union was not ready. That is why we left. That is why we built Project Ember. Tirak nodded. We saw the archive. We heard the voices of the last council. Amun smiled faintly. Then Earth did not turn away. We turned inward. We trained in silence. We built in the dark. We became the Watchers. He touched the ship's wall gently. This vessel was one of many. We were spread thin. Most are gone now. Only a few remain. But what we learned must be shared. Tirak said, we must return to the Union. They need to hear this. Amun's voice turned serious. They will not believe easily. Peace is a beautiful dream, but dreams can hide danger. Tirak understood. The Union had enjoyed peace for too long. Many had forgotten fear. Many believed danger was gone forever. But Earth had remembered. Earth had prepared. The crew returned to the wind path. As they moved away from the lost ship, it powered down again, returning to its silent rest. In the ship's command room, Tirak spoke with his crew. We have learned much, he said. Now we must decide what to do next. Salah asked, should we return home? Maru answered, the Union must hear this, but will they act? Tirak looked out at the stars. We will take the message. If they listen, we move together. If not, Earth must still stand. Just then, the ship's system chimed. Unusual signal detected. Source, deep space, repeating pattern. They checked the signal. It was soft, almost too quiet to hear. But it matched the pattern Amun had shown them. The same rhythm, the same echo. Tirak turned to Amun. Is this from the cold ones? Amun nodded. It means they are near. A map appeared on the screen. The signal came from a system only a few days away. Tirak made a choice. We go there. We see for ourselves. If we carry a warning, it must be a true one. The wind path changed course and moved toward the signal. Days passed. The crew remained calm, but alert. Everyone knew they were heading towards something unknown. As they entered the system, they found a small planet. It was empty. No cities, no signs of life. But in orbit above it, there was something large. A massive object floated silently in the dark. It was not a ship. It had no windows, no engines. It was shaped like a stone, smooth and dark. Symbols glowed faintly on its surface. Tirak ordered the ship to move closer. As they approached, the signal grew louder. Salah whispered, it is not speaking. It is humming. The sound filled the ship slowly, a low, deep tone, not painful, but strange. It moved through their minds like a soft wave. Amun stared at the object. This is what comes before the cold ones, a marker, a beacon. Tirak asked, what happens after it appears? Amun looked at him. Then they come. The crew watched in silence. No movement, no light beyond the strange object. But the signal continued. Tirak made a decision. We cannot stop this, but we can warn others. Earth was right. The galaxy must prepare. He turned to Amun. You will come with us. Together, we will tell them. Amun agreed. It is time. The peace we loved must now be protected. The wind path turned away from the strange object and began its journey. Home. Behind them, the dark shape continued to hum, alone in the void as they left the system. Tirak spoke quietly, more to himself than anyone else. We chose peace once, but now we choose to stand. Far behind them, something in the dark began to move. The wind path cut through the dark space near Neptune, carrying Tirak, Amun, and the rest of the crew. They left behind the strange humming object, the silent marker of the Cold One's arrival. Now their thoughts turned to the next part of their mission, the lost human fleet sent from Earth long ago. Amun looked at the stars outside the window. His face was calm, but his eyes held stories of long journeys and hard choices. The fleet was Earth's hope. He said quietly, we sent ships to search beyond the known space, to find the Cold Ones before they came here, to learn their ways and warn others. Tirak nodded. How many ships were sent? Hundreds, Amun replied. Small ships, fast and quiet. We call it the Watch Fleet. They moved through space without lights or signals. Their task was to search, to watch, to survive. Sala asked, why did so few return? Amun's eyes darkened. The Cold Ones found them first. They are not like any enemy. They do not fight. They erase everything, ships, people, even memories. Only a few escaped. Maru looked at the screen showing the location of the last known ship. This ship here returned just days ago. The wind path changed course, heading toward the small vessel drifting near Neptune. As they approached, the ship looked old and battered. Its metal was scratched, and some parts hung loose. But its engine still worked. It was alive. Tirak felt a deep respect. This ship had fought the dark silence of space and survived. They docked carefully and moved inside. The corridors were quiet but warm. Signs of long travel and hard work were everywhere. They found the crew in the cryo chamber sleeping after many years. Only a few pods were still active. Amun gently opened one pod. Inside was a man, his skin pale, but his eyes bright. I'm Kian, the man said softly. I remember the journey. I remember the silence. Tirak helped Kian out of the pod. Tell us what happened. Kian took a deep breath. We left Earth with hope and fear. The galaxy was peaceful, but we knew peace could not last forever. We were told to watch and protect. He walked slowly through the ship, touching the walls as if remembering. Our first years were calm. We moved from system to system. We listened for signs of the Cold Ones, but we found nothing. Sala asked, when did it change? Kian's face grew serious. We found a system dark and empty. No stars, no signals. The Cold Ones had been there. He pointed to a small star on the map. They attacked without warning. No fight, no warning. They erased all life and all machines. Tirak asked, how did you survive? Kian smiled sadly. We did not survive. Not really. We ran. We hid. We turned off all signals. We waited. Mars spoke softly. Did you lose many? Kian nodded. Most of us. Only a few ships escaped. We scattered across space, hoping to find safety. Tirak looked at the stars again. You returned to Earth. Kian shook his head. Earth was silent. We had no place to go, so we drifted here, waiting for a new path. Amun said, the fleet was lost, but now it has returned. We must learn from what remains. Tirak agreed. The Union must understand. Peace is not enough. We must be ready to stand. The crew spent days repairing the ship. They studied logs, memories, and data. They found records of battles that never happened openly. They found warnings left in hidden messages. One day, Kian showed them a file. It was a message from Earth's leaders before the fleet left. We send this message to those who find it, the message said. Peace is precious but fragile. We chose peace once, but now we choose to guard it. We send our fleet to protect the galaxy's future. Tirek felt a surge of pride. Earth had not disappeared in fear. It had chosen to protect the galaxy. In silence. As they prepared to leave the lost ship, a new signal arrived. It was strong, urgent. Mara checked the source. It comes from the heart of the galaxy. The cold ones are moving closer. Ammon's face grew dark. Then our time is near. Earth's shield must rise. Tirek looked at the stars, feeling the weight of the future. The lost fleet was home again. But the real fight was just beginning. He stood tall and said, "We will carry the message. We will stand with Earth, and we will protect peace, no matter the cost." The Windpath left the lost ship behind, ready to carry hope back to the Galactic Union. The stars waited, silent and vast, but soon they would hear Earth's voice again. The Windpath soared back toward the heart of the Galactic Union. Inside, the crew prepared for the moment they would share Earth's truth with others. The message was clear, but not easy. The galaxy had lived in peace for many cycles. Not all would be ready to hear of danger or change. Tirek stood before the team. Ammon, Kian, Sala, and Maru listened carefully. "We carry more than stories," Tirek said. "We carry Earth's choice, the choice to protect peace not only with words but with strength." Ammon nodded. Earth chose silence to build a shield. Now that shield must be raised. Sala asked, "Do you think the Union will accept this?" Tirek smiled gently. "Some will listen, some will doubt, but we must speak." The ship entered the great space station of the Union. Its tall towers and bright lights shone like a star. The crew felt the weight of history as they prepared to meet the leaders. Inside the council chamber, representatives from many worlds waited. Some were surprised to see humans again. Others were curious about the stories the crew brought. Tirek stepped forward. "We come from Earth," he began. "We bring a message. Earth once chose peace. Now Earth chooses what comes next." He told them of the silence, of the Great Archive and the Last Council, of Project Ember and the Watch Fleet, of the Cold Ones, the dark force that erases. Some listened in shock. Some whispered in fear. Others shook their heads, unwilling to believe. One representative, a tall being named Valen, spoke up. "Why did Earth keep the secret? Why not warn us earlier?" Ammon replied, "We feared panic. We hoped peace would last, but we also prepared. Now the threat is near. We must act." Another representative asked, "What can Earth do now?" Kian stepped forward. "We have ships, knowledge, and training. We can teach the Union how to defend." Maru added, "We can share the warnings and prepare for what is coming." Tirek looked around the room. "Peace is fragile, but it is worth protecting. We must stand together." After long debate, the council agreed to begin preparation. Plans were made for joint training, shared defense, and open communication. But not all were ready to change. Some still hoped the Cold Ones were a story, a warning from the past. Tirek knew their work had just begun. Back on the Windpath, the crew prepared for new missions. They would travel to distant worlds, bringing knowledge and hope. Ammon said, "Earth's silence is over. Now we walk with the stars again." Sala smiled. "We carry peace, but we also carry strength." Tirek looked to the sky. "We chose peace once. Now we choose what comes next." The stars seemed to shine brighter as the Windpath moved forward. A new chapter had begun for Earth, for the Union, and for the galaxy. The Galactic Union had begun to change. The news from Earth, carried by Tirek and his crew, had spread like light through the stars. Many worlds prepared for the future. Knowing that peace would need strength to last, Tirek stood on the bridge of the Windpath, watching the star field move past. Beside him were Ammon, Kian, Sala, and Mar, friends, allies, and witnesses to Earth's great choice. "We have done much," Ammon said softly, "but the road ahead will test us all." Tirek nodded. Earth's message was clear. We chose peace once, but now we choose to stand, to protect that peace with courage and wisdom. The Windpath's communication panel beeped. A message came from Earth itself. A warm voice filled the room. "Greetings, travelers," the voice said. "We have watched your journey. You carry our hope. The galaxy is changing. We will walk with you as one." Tirac smiled. Earth is not silent anymore. It speaks through. U.S. The crew prepared to join a great gathering on Earth's new space station. This station was built in orbit, a symbol of Earth's return and its readiness to stand for the galaxy. As they approached, the station grew larger, shining with green and blue lights. Around it floated ships from many worlds, all coming to stand. Together, on the station's main hall, leaders and citizens shared stories, ideas, and plans. The air was filled with hope and determination. Tirac spoke to the crowd. We once chose peace, and that peace brought great good. But peace alone is not enough. We must choose to protect it. We must choose to be ready. Amun added. The Cold Ones are not just a threat. They are a test of unity, courage, and strength. The crowd listened with quiet respect. Suddenly, alarms sounded. A message flashed across the screens. The Cold Ones had been detected near a distant system. Tirac's heart beat faster. The time had come. We will face this challenge together, he said, with the strength of Earth and the courage of the Union. The Windpath and many other ships prepared for the journey. The galaxy was no longer silent. It was alive with the sound of hope and the power of unity. As they moved toward the coming dawn, Tirac looked at the stars and whispered, "We chose peace once. Now we choose what comes next." And this time, the stars answered.